Not there. Bam. Now you can hear us. What up? Good morning.
Good morning.
What's up, brother? What's up, brother?
Oh, we met you. We met you.
Nah, I had mine on yesterday too. I grabbed it, went out. I was like, it's an off day. Yeah, I know. I got Larry reminds me Friday is uniform Friday. I gotta get back on it.
I had to get back on the horse. So I was like,
Right,
oh, I keep forgetting my shirt.
right, right. I gotta follow my own policies. So welcome everybody. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you for hanging out with us. Um, let's see. Supposed to be having a guest come through. See if we can still make it. Let's. All right. Oh, my bad. All right. What was I about to say? How's everything going, Larry? Let's start there. Let's start there. What's going on in your world, my brother?
Uh, uh, Everything's great. So Thursday nights usually my late night when I'm shooting pool, right?
Okay. Okay.
So I go. So when Carolyn left for the day yesterday, when she went to the office, and she was right from the office after that to teach her Zumba class. So
Okay.
she goes. So I go. I guess I'll see you tomorrow, because that's how late I get in. She be knocked out, right?
Right.
And then I was like, well, if you actually stop by the pool hall on the way home, just to say hi, you can see me again today. She's like, I don't like that place.
Uh-oh.
Like why would I want to be there? I was like, it's not about the place. It's about me.
Right.
Seeing me again before the day's out.
Right.
Like, well, we'll see. That's how her voice sounds too, guys. That's her voice. Yeah, we'll see. So I get a text and it said, hey, order me some food. I'll be there at 8:39. Have some food. Put an order of food in for me. So when I get there, it's there.
Yeah.
So her orders are punctually obeyed. She showed up.
Okay.
She ate. She hung out. Then she said, all right, now I'm sleepy. Deuces. And get the bounce, then she bounced. So then I thought, I was like, oh, I done got the powers of the woman. Like, my woman was here. I was like, you know what? I wasn't going to shoot tonight.
Yeah.
I'm going to shoot.
Nice.
Yeah. Nice. I said, I'm going to shoot. My opponent had other things in mind. He was like, oh, I'm going to run the whole tape. He ran 2 racks on me. Before I knew it, I was down 20-1. I was like, who is this guy?
I got you.
And then I started making a comeback. And I was like, yeah. I got a good hit. And in my last valiant effort, the guy needed one more ball. Okay. And I was like, yeah, got him. Boom. And everybody's, oh, Larry, great shot. I'm like, yeah, but that cue ball's still moving. That cue ball moving to the other side of the table, into the corner pocket. And the guy had a hit in, guy's that ball in hand, and he won. I was like, darn, damn it. So I took an L. But it was okay. I had fun while I was doing it. And my babe, she stopped through to see a brother. So
that's good.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
So playing was the highlight. The highlight was the babe.
I got you. She's not a fan of that space. I guess it's very, very pool hall like. Or she
tries to play like she doesn't like my activities. Yeah. But she did. So she's one of those phone gamers, right?
Okay.
So I did that. That's those phone gamers. I don't know if I'm doing it right, but she saw that I was keeping score with the iPad. So she was like, those gamers, they see something, they see a screen up, they facing it, right? She's looking. I was like, you see that, right? You want to keep score? She's like, yeah. You want me to keep score? She was like, I'll just hit all the balls in at once and say I won. So
I got you.
Yeah, so she just kept looking like, ooh, colors.
Not colors.
So
all right. All right, guys. Welcome. Good morning, Lisa. Good morning, Mama Corey. Good morning, Rod came in the building. Good morning, guys. Thank you guys for rocking with us. Another edition of Brothers of Legacy. I have a legal mind, a scholar coming through this morning. He's adjusting right now. I'm just waiting for the thumbs up. Put him on screen because nothing worse than when you come on and you're trying to adjust. You got your head like this.
I gotta go. I keep forgetting.
What's up?
I keep forgetting. I'll be right back. I gotta change my uniform again.
Nah.
Come on.
My brother's rocking.
You know what I mean? I gotta change the uniform.
Clean, brother. The brother's clean. He's working.
Right. He is clean. What's up, bro?
What's up, Mr. McCrimmons? How you doing?
What's happening, fellas?
All is well.
Doing well. How's everything on your end?
Everything's good. Everything's good. Can't complain.
All I know is I'm going to. I be talking to the hairstylist. I be talking to the hairstylist at my barbershop. I'm like, hey, you want to put some color? You want to put some color in this beard? And now I see Mr. McCrimmons. I want some color in my beard. I want mine looking like that.
Keep the gray.
I want to look like
I'm telling you. That's how you get it. That's how you get it taken care of right there. I got a little bit coming in up here.
Oh yeah.
I got a lot of it happening over there now. It's taking over. That gray hair is so disrespectful. It goes all where it wants to go.
Yeah, like, it doesn't follow directions.
It's like where are we going? Where are we going? Oh man. So yeah, the joys of getting older. The joys of getting older. So welcome guys. Appreciate you guys for being here. I know we usually do our spin the wheel or play our game, but I wanted to bring our Mr. Grell in the building to kind of talk about a lot of stuff. I know everyone always has a legal question, and we may be revisiting some stuff we spoke about, but I'm gonna keep it real. I'm gonna put my stuff out there. I had a speeding ticket I had to take care of yesterday because I sat on it, so I had to go to court, but I didn't really have to go to court. So I went to the cashier lady. She's like, "Nah, just pay it. You straight. You don't have to see anybody." I was doing a little bit over. It was 45. Yo, it's a speed trap. That's what I'm gonna call it. It was a speed trap. You ever flowing at like 55, right? Of course you're not doing 55. You're doing like 60, and then the speed limit just dropped, right? Over a hill. And just went from 55 to 45, and I was maintaining my 60. So Clayton County, shout out to Clayton County. They said, "Hey,
Clayton County, that's Crockett.
Crockett,
the lady, what's her name? Something.
Crockett,
the Congresswoman. Isn't that her district?
Talking about the lady that was out at the place.
No, the Congresswoman. Her last name is Crockett.
Oh, you talking about the one that? No, not her. No, that's not her. Just the one that the black lady that's been getting all the press, that's been kind of handling everybody. No. I don't know where she's out of, but no, she's not Georgia. I don't even think she's Georgia.
You know what?
I'm thinking she's Texas.
Texas. Yeah, my bad.
Yeah, so
it's the Clayton County in Texas that she's representative of.
Oh, okay.
Places name the same thing. What's up, Jeff? Good morning, sir. Yeah, and so yes, I had to handle that situation, but I felt like I had a room to argue, right? I wasn't guilty. Not that I wasn't guilty, but that I feel like I was doing more 60 and 55 than I was doing 60 and 45.
So you thought it was a 55 and it really was a 45? Or was it 55?
I mean, I'm just saying, like, it went from 55 to 45. And by the time I realized, I think I seen the sign, I saw them, you know how we do. We lightly begin to try to apply the brake, but by then, already been clocked, coming over the hill. So my question, right, is should I question? It's middle of daytime. Is that can I question on the spot? Would you advise?
Can you question on the spot?
On the spot, like if I can at least point out, because there's the moment where they license registration where they got to check, make sure you didn't steal his car, make sure you got appropriate paperwork to be driving and all that good stuff. And I look and I can kind of prove like, yo, I don't think you're right. Would that be the appropriate time to question, in your opinion?
Or
would it make a difference?
I may fight it in the courts, not on the street type of person.
Okay.
I mean, you have some questions, absent any aggressions or any other thing like that. You simply want to ask. Ask.
Okay.
Ask. I don't think there's any harm in asking, but if you get the response of an officer who seems like he wants to escalate the situation, or you feel like you were so wrong that you need to escalate the situation immediately. At that point, then I would advise not to.
Just let it ride. Just kind of sign the paper, sign whatever.
Go ahead and take your speeding ticket and handle it on the back end.
Okay.
Because I would also add this, and I say this. Officers are doing this all day, right? And just like anything else, you may get a little lax every now and then, right? You may just run of the mill, and then that officer makes a mistake writing something down in that citation. Now you get somebody like me who comes in, and now they are paying a little bit of attention to it and notice, oh, well, this officer didn't write the proper time for his calibration of the laser that he used to track you, right?
Okay.
And this is just a run-of-the-mill mistake he made, right?
Right.
If you get out there and you're arguing with him, you're getting him fired up. Right. You may give him a little bit more motivation to say, I'm gonna make sure I get this one right.
Okay. I got you. It feels like it's challenged. Okay.
Yeah. So, ask questions. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But when it starts to lead to or starts to grow into more of a confrontational thing,
like a back
I don't think you're going to be doing yourself any favor.
Gotcha.
At that point.
Okay. So yeah. So see that brings up I was trying to let it go, AD. You just brought it.
Nah, it's legal Friday. I know everybody got something burning that they like.
Couple weeks ago.
Okay.
Couple weeks ago, I'm like this, behind the wheel, and I'm in chill mode. I just came from the car wash. I filled the tank up. Went to the car wash.
Car seemed like it's rolling better.
I either had lunch for the family or was planning something at the house. I was like, yeah, today is a good day. It was bumping in my head because the Bluetooth don't work in the car too well. So I was bumping it in my head. I'm like, yeah. And then, there's this thing called the Virginia where people on that have stop signs, they'll run the stop sign and cut in front of oncoming traffic, right? Mm. So I'm like, So this car was getting ready to do the Virginia, but he saw a cop.
Okay.
And he pumped the brakes and slid back, right? And I was like, see that? Caught you. You was going to cut me off, but you saw the cop, you decided not to do it. Right. So now you be wrong. You pick and choose. So I'm like, all right, whatever. And I'm still driving. I'm chilling. I'm in chill mode that I'm going probably under the speed limit, right? For a change. And not on purpose, just because I was just in chill mode. Don't you know? 15 seconds after that, the cop flashes lights, and I see, he's getting over. He's trying to go do something. He about to get somebody, right?
Let me get out of here.
This dude is up on me. I was like, what?
That's the worst feeling.
Mind you, my window was down. My arm was hanging out. So now you know who's driving this vehicle. Right. A person of melanated characteristics. Right. And so I'm like, okay, so now he pulling me over where there's no shoulder. So now I'm like, I'm in a lane. right? Because I don't want to be one of those guys that was going to keep driving. Like I was trying to find a safe space.
I've done the slow drive, just like I guess can we do a little slow chase to like
nah, I saw the YouTube videos. I don't want to be tased. I do not want to be tased, and I don't want to be pepper sprayed because I was trying to look out for his best interests, right?
Okay.
So I just said, oh, I'm just gonna be that person, and now I drive a brown Armada. Not many people drive a brown Armada, so people in the neighborhood they know who I am. Like, oh, that's Larry's car, right? I'm like, so it's already a level of embarrassment happening. Like, oh, now he holding up traffic. Holding up traffic. He must be dirty, right? So now the cop gets out, and as he's walking up, I'm like, oh, be careful, dude. Cars right there. They going around us. He's like, oh, yeah, I got it. I'm like, all right. So he goes. I was like, good morning, afternoon, officer, what's up? And he goes, the license plate cover you have on your car makes your license plate ineligible. I was like, wow, really? I was like, okay, I knew it had some discoloring to it or whatever, right? I was like, well, I had the cover on because in Philadelphia, if you don't protect your plate, people take your stickers off, or they cut corners off of it. So I have it on there to protect my plate. As you see, there's a crack in it because they were trying to get to my sticker, right? And he go, oh, okay, but he said, well, I can't read it, and it's illegal, or whatever. I was like, okay, all right. So now he goes, all right, I need your license and your registration, and I'm like, okay. So now I'm looking for. I'm like, okay, I don't know which one it is. So I'll grab one. He's like, oh, I could take the expired one or whatever. He was like, I'm just going to run it anyway. And in my head, I'm like, why don't you just run the tags like you can do?
Right. Save us all the trouble.
So, but I was compliant. So you sure? So now I'm still looking for the updated one, right? And I found the updated one. Right. And I'm waving out the window, but he's not paying attention. About 5-10 minutes later, he comes walking up and goes, oh, your license plate was different than the one that on the thing you gave me. I said, yeah, well, here's the updated one. Right. He said, no, I found it. Okay. Whatever. Everything checks out. I'm giving you a warning. Right. Okay. And here's the code. Oh, no, he didn't just verbally warning. It was a printed warning. Right. So now
he's working though. He got somebody over.
It's a document now. It's a document. It was like typed up. It was typed up. It was like from a printer. So is that this is the code here, and now what he said and what the code read was two different things. But I was like two different languages. But again, I don't understand legal speak, right? So and then he backs up again on coming traffic. I'm like, dude, watch out, you're gonna get hit. He was like, yeah, it's just a warning or whatever, and you got to get rid of that thing. And I'm like, okay, but I bought that at the AutoZone down the street. But why are you selling it in these stores? I just say that to him. Again, this is in my head. Right. I'm having those conversations here that I don't escalate the situation, right? So now I'm like, so meanwhile, when he went to the car, I text my wife, I text my daughter, I text a couple of friends that I'm pulled over just in case the world learns who Larry Banks is. I didn't want the world to learn who Larry Banks was, but I'm putting out there that, hey, this is like my last right. So this is what y'all need to know. So he lets me go. I go ahead and pull off or whatever. I get home and I'm like, man, is it that bad you can't read it? And I walk behind my car and I go ABC 123H. And I'm like, I can read that. So then I take a picture and I send it to go, you have me my plate? And yeah. I say, he said this was eligible. I'm like, illegible.
Stick in the corner though?
No, my license plate. Well, the sticker was still there, but the license plate, he said he couldn't read it. I'm like,
gotcha. Because I know mine, and it's funny on that same ticket I got, he put it at the bottom. It was hard to read the plate.
See,
he didn't say that.
Wow. He put it on there, right? Yeah. So now my question here is, I'm sorry for the long dramatics there. I wanted to paint the picture, right?
Okay.
So now, warning is a warning a legal document that's on my record that I have a warning, and if so, is it wise? Should I go ahead and go to the courthouse and challenge this and show the picture to a judge and what do you think? If you hey, this guy's did it on the street. Now I want to know, I'm saying, if you see the visual. Right. Was that right? Should he have pulled me over for that? Or was that his original reason for pulling me over? Right. And so is a warning that he put in the system. It's in there.
Right.
something for me to make a fuss about.
Right.
He laughed. Like, come on, like, it was something real.
A warning is something that's in the system. It's like the police system. So if another officer stops you for that same tag a few weeks down the road, he should be able to look into the system, especially if it's the same jurisdiction, and see that, oh well, you were stopped for this a few weeks ago. They gave you a warning. Why haven't you taken care of that?
Okay, wait. Let me make sure. After I took the picture, I immediately took that cover off because I don't want to get pulled over for no reason. But yes, I did take it off. But yeah, all right.
That's where my story was going to end. But with the suggestion that you might as well just go ahead and change it. But ultimately that's what would happen. I assume they would pull you over. They would look into when they type in your information, they would be able to see that, oh, officer such and such, or the same officer stopped you for this a few weeks ago, gave you a warning, you didn't change it. At that point, they'll make the determination of if they're going to give you a ticket or not. And of course, if they did, then you would, assuming that you had not changed it, go to court and you would fight your case or plead your case to the court saying that, hey, look, I don't think that this falls within a with the improperly displayed tag or obstructing or something that obstructed the view of my tag.
Right.
So there's such thing as excessive warnings. Like, hey, this guy he gets an excessive amount of warnings.
I mean, officers have what you call discretion, which is one of their biggest tools. So, they have the decision to make about whether they're going to issue a citation on any given, especially when you're talking about traffic stuff, on any given stop. They could give you, they could have gave you the same warning, or he could have just wrote you the ticket, but he decided for whatever reason he was going to give you a warning. Now, I will say that I don't believe that's the only reason that he stopped you. It's something that he saw about you, your car, maybe your celebration is you realized that you weren't going to be cut off by that gentleman. Maybe he thought that was something else, or that meant something, and he wanted to learn a little bit more about you. But I believe, and I would personally think that there was a different reason why, an alternative reason why you may have been stopped, and he wanted to look in to see what you had going on.
Okay, so again, the celebration was all in my head. I live up here. Me up here. If you in here, you'd be like, wow. You probably issue me a warning just because.
Nah, I out loud celebrated. I was waiting at an intersection, and I was about to turn. You looking, and it turning yellow. You're gonna turn, but you can see the person is moving at a pace that they're just gonna run the red light, and you're like, you know what? I'm gonna just let them go, so there's no incident. So they run the red light. I look over to the left, cops right there. Woo! We're like, yes, get out. So. I celebrated. I enjoyed the moment. So, not in my head, very out loud. So, I hear you on that, Larry. Like stuff in the system. There's been incidents. Like my wife even went through something. Like they suspended her license for no reason. Reason.
Wow.
No. And all we got after she got into an accident. And because of this mess up, they grabbed her up and went to go to court. And when they found out it was a mistake, I was like, oh, sorry, that's it. That's all you got after you towed my car, after you had my wife in the cell for a little while, and after all of this, that's all you got. That's all you got from me. Sorry, my bad. So it's the system is so I'm really leery. Whenever. Anytime I go deep, everything good, everything straight in the system. We good, right? You good? Hey, Johnson, you sure? We straight. We good. I do that 3 times. We good. You sure everything in there is straight? You know, like because one, you know what? One little thing they pull you over. Hey, it looks like what? Like, looks like what? What's in there? You know, what are you reading in your box? Like, I don't know. You know, and like unlike your credit, you know, like if something happened, you get alerts. There's things. But when it comes to your license, you don't know until something happens. You're like, oh yeah, here, officer, here's my license. Yeah, I know I ran a red light. Oh yeah, you also know you got a warrant. A warrant for what? Oh, what? You didn't come to court. To court for what? Like, you know, it could be and I'm calling you like, yo, I don't understand. I need to look in the system, see what's going on.
They found out you don't put milk in your cereal. That's what that was about.
You know. I will say, like with some of those things, particularly like like a suspended license, you are supposed to know or may be made aware of the fact that your license is suspended. So that is a requirement of them being able to prove that particular thing, is that you knew or at least should have known that your license had been suspended. They would need to provide some proof that something was sent out to your most recent mailing address, or the mailing address that's, you know, in line with what you have registered with the state or with your car or your license. So, you know, that is something that would be a valid defense that you legitimately didn't know or had no reason to know. Now, the question would be, you know, of course, whether or not you were aware, or whether you know you should have known that, because you know a lot of times what happens is somebody may have moved, they haven't properly updated their address, and now there's proof that it was sent to their old address. That's not the fault of the state or the Department of Driver Services.
Okay. Yeah, so that system stuff that bothers me a lot.
You gotta. Yeah, I mean, one mistake definitely put you in a bind.
Right.
To say the least.
Officers doing their job, and they like, well, you got to wait for the judge. When's that? Oh, that's tomorrow. I got to sit here till one. Or you can bail yourself out and pay this bondsman $1,000. Wait a minute. So yeah. So I just that's probably like my biggest personal issue with the system, because like there's no, they come to your house, they grab you, just like, what's this about? Like, we got to put you in the car, you got to be processed before you even know what's going on.
But you come grabbing me and not explaining anything to me. That's why I'm going to jail. You come grabbing me and not telling me why, I know I'm going to jail.
Right.
It's hard enough being a Dallas Cowboy fan.
As you take a sip.
That's funny.
Oh,
so good morning.
Oh gosh.
Brother.
Good morning. Happy Friday.
So yeah.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. If anybody need chat, if you have any legal questions or scenarios that you want to bring up, I know sometimes you might have a story. Just try to make it short as possible, because we'll read a little bit. I get a little lost in big. You ever read those long posts? You're like, oh no, that's too much to read. That's too much to read. Oh, he said, okay, that's good. I said, well, photo tickets. If I say that's not me driving, even if they are my driver's license picture, can that be dropped if it's someone else driving?
So I have a part B to that.
Okay. We'll let the criminals answer, then we'll get your part B.
Yeah, so as far as that's concerned, I mean, there's always that defense. I mean, it's the prosecuting agency's responsibility to prove that you're the person that was driving. I believe the presumption may go that you're the person that's driving, but ultimately, I believe it would be their requirement to prove that you were the person who was actually driving on that day. it wouldn't hurt if you had some hard evidence that you were somewhere completely different at the time.
Right. Okay.
You know, or of course the person who's actually driving comes in and says that. But you know, one of the questions that they may have for you, which I don't think you would have to answer, but they may try to argue differently, was, well, who was driving, since it wasn't you and it's your car, and who did you allow to drive? You know, so they're gonna try to put you in that space where it's saying, oh well, since you weren't driving, but it's somebody who you've allowed to drive your car,
right?
Go ahead and tell on them to save yourself.
Right.
Well, Your Honor, I have 5 members of my family, and it's a community vehicle, and they're all licensed drivers, so I can't tell you. In fact, okay, so let me back up a second. You're telling me that because the camera captures the license plate, not the individual driving,
right,
that I could have fought that.
Yeah.
Right. Wow.
Definitely.
Those school zone, the school zone camera. My wife was driving, or my daughter, one of them, and got a ticket. We could have fought that thing. I just realized that.
So
yeah, there are grounds to fight that.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Jeff.
Wow.
Got to pull a Jeff card. He said, I've denied two different times, and both times they didn't pursue the ticket. Okay.
And that's what I was about to say, is that the bet is that you're not going to fight it, right? The bet is that you're just going to say, man, they got me. Let me just go ahead and pay it.
Yeah, I went ahead and paid it.
Wow. Right. You know what I mean? And if they get 50% of the money, 50% of those tickets paid, then, you know, they're doing pretty good for this machine that cost an amount to install that they don't have to have paid officers out there doing these things, making these hourly rates. So, you know, they're just trying to get a return on investment, just like anybody else.
Right. Wow.
Yeah. So the part there's a part B to that, but before the part B, I get a letter in the mail from Philadelphia Parking Authority, Philadelphia whatever their ticket issuing thing. And I'm seeing great pictures of my car. Like I got all these angles of my car going through a red light and everything.
Okay. All right.
And look at the date of it. I was out the country. Because I was like, how was I able to drive my car like this? Oh, my fraternity brother had this car. So I texted him the picture. It was like, is this what the cost of being friends with you?
It's the cost of my friendship.
So we paid the ticket. He said he waited for the ticket. But the part B is, so I'm commuting back and forth from Philadelphia to Virginia. And I remember the day when it happened. I'm driving my car, and I happen to be in the left lane. I was in the left lane, but I think I was just probably doing 28 to 10 over. More like in the 10, which in Maryland, they ticket you after 12 miles over.
Okay.
I was doing, let's say I was doing 10, right?
Right.
And I'm like this, and I see this the camera. So let me back off a little bit,
right,
just to make sure. I back off, and I'm like this, and this car come flying past me on the right side, and the lights go off. I was like, I bet you they're gonna give me that ticket. A couple months later, they ticket me. You see the car flying past me, and I was sitting there. And I'm like,
oh, you said, okay, flying past you, they got you instead of
they got me.
Okay. Wow.
I guess again, that was another opportunity. I should have went on and tried to fight it. There's a fight?
Yeah. It looks like that.
Definitely.
I remember that one. Oh, it was like it's at nighttime too. So I was like, and I saw flash. I was like, darn it.
Wow.
So yeah, so now all right. So fight. Because they pretty much figure they don't expect many people to fight it.
Right. Next to you.
Oh, yeah. Total blur in the picture. Total blur. I think I kept that.
That's funny. So look, Jeff, I don't condone this, but Jeff said, and they sent me the ticket with my face plain as day, but I denied it. I can't. I do not condone that kind of activity.
Man.
Yeah.
My wife had one of those in Sacramento on her way to morning prayer in Sacramento. 5:00 in the morning. Got a picture of her coming into the intersection. Her mouth was like this. Like coming into the intersection, driving through the intersection, and then exiting the intersection. Wow. And I'm like, yeah, that's you, lovely.
Right.
I said, lovely, we got a ticket in the mail for you going through a red light on your way to church.
Right.
I didn't go through a red light. I said, that's you. She goes, huh? I said, yeah, that's you, lovely. Wow. I had no idea there was a camera in that intersection. All I wanted to know is what criminal planted the camera. That's what I want to know. I think it's unfair to have cameras planted in intersections. I think that is a human rights violation. If you don't have police there to catch you, you should not have electronic devices there to catch you. However, I do understand to catch criminals in acts, children, human trafficking, and all that. I get it. I understand it. I just don't think it should work for traffic violations. So that's my.
I have been told that pretty much the entire Atlanta is under 24-hour surveillance. So.
Wow. Wow. Watch yourself. That's a warning. Watch yourself.
So it's better to assume that there is a camera there than not.
Right.
I just drive my age. So I'm always within the speed limit.
Right. Absolutely.
On the highways.
Right. On the highways, yes.
I get yelled at. I get yelled at for driving my age on the highway. Get over, Grandma.
Right. That's my point. I'm always within the speed limit on the highways.
Absolutely.
Or under the. I guess I say within. I'm under the speed limit on the highways.
Absolutely, definitely. So let me ask you this. I don't know if I've ever asked this one. What is like one of the wildest cases that you ever dealt with? Since you've been practicing.
I could get a warning removed.
I have handled some pretty serious cases. They have some pretty serious media attention. Okay. I couldn't go too deep into it because they are still going through a legal process connected with the case. But basically it had to do with somebody who got shot on murdered on a MARTA train. Wow. Yeah. And that was midday. But it's at rush hour. I guess you would say. Gotcha. And one thing I'll let you know that I did learn from that situation is that on each MARTA train, each car, as well as buses, but I know for a fact on each car on the MARTA train, there are approximately 12 different cameras that capture both color video as well as sound. So
wow.
Be careful what you say and do on MARTA as well.
Wow.
Because although MARTA may be smarter, they're going to know what you're doing on there.
Wow. And I'm wowing because I've been on the train and I mean I think I've seen maybe 2, 3, like maybe 2, like in the corners or whatever. Wow.
Yeah, there are a lot of cameras on those cars, and they see and hear. Which that was what I was more impressed with, the sound. Yeah, it's like wow, they can hear like your conversation that you're having with somebody
and everything.
They can hear that.
You get the whole plan and everything.
Yeah,
they can hear it. The last time I was on a city train.
Wow. Right, because that's you're right. That audio, I think the audio is probably like sometimes worse than the picture because now you can hear thoughts and like,
wow.
bad enough you did it, but I heard what you said when you did it.
Right. So those yeah, that's
wow, that's interesting.
That's not a good thing, for people who plan on doing some sort of criminal activity on the MARTA train, right?
Yeah. And I feel like,
but
that's
for us law-abiding citizens who don't,
not a problem. It's actually protection.
But
it's
of course, just be careful what you say, because maybe certain situations or certain conversations you may want to have with somebody in public, but you don't want it memorialized in recorded form.
Right. Just so they can hear me talking. Right. Talking junk. Let's see. Jeff said, Rod, a police buddy told me anytime people deny their driving, they never pursue the ticket. I tried it once. It worked. I tried it again. I can't with you, Jeff. Wow, that's interesting. I mean, I know the buses had them too. Like, well, the buses got actual. They show have the TV that shows the different cameras and stuff like that. So you're kind of being recorded. Because I thought, didn't they have to in their law? They have to tell you, or no? Or maybe it is somewhere. I just ain't paid attention to it. They gotta tell you that you're being recorded.
I'm pretty sure it says that you're being recorded, or that you could potentially be recorded on this.
They have a wallet-sized metal plate somewhere in the corner down at the bottom.
Yeah, it might not be the biggest and most easiest to locate, but
size 7 font.
You'll be able to find one.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
See, after seeing Enemy of the State, I figured they just watching
everything. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Everything.
Absolutely.
That eye really exists.
the whole Edward Snowden thing, when he came out, it wasn't like a surprise. It just was a confirmation. Like, oh, we've always figured. We've always kind of knew. Like, he just proved us. Like I said, it moved it from the conspiracy section to this is a fact.
This is actually what this is actually. It happens.
Right. Yeah. It actually happens.
Yeah.
Yow. I'm stuck.
So on the news this morning, this young lady was on the United Airlines flight, and she kind of went off on the flight attendants, and they like got the little thingies and cuffed her with them, and she bit the flight attendant's uniform and went off and stuff, and so that's what they took her to be evaluated at a mental facility, right? And no charges were placed yet, but viewers, her counsel, what advice would you have? What would you give this? Would you go with an insanity plea, or like anytime you do anything on a flight, those are federal crimes, right?
Yes, sometimes it depends. I mean, the feds aren't really going to pick up these various cases, though. You know what I mean? It's certain situations they're just not going to waste their time picking it up. I mean, you bit somebody's uniform. I mean, if you cause some serious harm, then maybe they'll look into it. If it was depending on the level of distraction that happened and everything, but Fed's not just going to waste their time pursuing just any old issue. But with that being said, in insanity defense, I mean, at this point, it would just be advising your client to remain silent, which if there has been an attorney appointed or somebody that person has hired, then they would understand that there shouldn't be any questioning, at least legally, of her without her attorney present anyway. Outside of that, with defenses such as insanity, where you're trying to rely on at least maybe even prior diagnosis or things of that nature, you're going to be collecting medical records, talking to professionals, and trying to figure out exactly what was going on and why this break happened at that time. Because a lot of times people think that, oh, well, somebody pleads insanity and now they just go free. No, you go to a mental hospital and you can be there, for just as long as you would have been in prison, right? So people, I think the kind of the media or kind of outside culture lets you think, oh, well, somebody can go do something, they'll plead like they're crazy, and then next thing you know, they'll back walk in the streets. But it doesn't necessarily work that way.
Well, Gigante on Godfather Harlem, he stayed pleading to insanity. He was taking a shower with a raincoat on and stuff. But yeah, that's that one thing. Like, like, is it worth even going that route? Like trying to get the insanity plea, because what ends up happening is you get medicated.
If you're really insane or dealing with physical route.
Gotcha.
I'm sorry, my bad.
Nah, you good.
No, you good.
Yeah, it seemed like it started shaking, jumping on my side.
Oh, no, you good. It'll So if there's ever a lag or just something going on, or
blame Spectre.
Yeah, you'll see. Right, blame Spectre. You'll see us freeze up first, and then you also get messed up. Then you'll know it's you, not us. that's when you know. But if you just see one of us messing up, then you know it's that person, not you. That's what I had to learn.
Rod got a question.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw Rod's question up there. Okay, it looks like he's going through the freeze. Okay,
did it come in? Rod's question come in? Because I have one. Well, I have a statement.
Any AI impact yet in what you do, research, judge rulings, etc.? You get it? Corrupt. Might be losing them. You hear what
Spectrum. Spectrum. Somebody
he done froze up. I think we all freezing.
Is that Rod?
Yes, there you go. Yeah, Rod is asking that.
Yes, is that Rod asking about any AI impact?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. I mean, AI appears to be infiltrating a lot of industries and it's things such as simple as just being able to send emails a little bit quicker, type in a few keywords, a small little, prompt of what it is that you want, what you're sending, and the AI will create an email to somebody, which, may have taken you 30, 45 minutes, now may take 10 minutes, right? AI tools have been applied to these search engines. So there are some particular legal search engines that attorneys use to do case law research. And those search engines are adopting a lot of these AI technologies where you're able to type in your key terms, and then they're giving you ways that you may be able to get a more precise or a better worded question that's more likely to lead to responses that you are actually looking for.
Wow.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, AI is taking over, as they say, I guess.
Oh, been a long time since that happened. Good morning.
Hey.
Like it was a long time since we got the early morning hug. I ain't seen that in a minute.
Yeah, she came home yesterday.
Oh, that's awesome.
Cool.
That's awesome. Oh,
and leaving today, heading down to Tallahassee to see her best friend who's at Florida State.
Wow. Oh, cool. Safe travels.
Yes,
Yeah,
indeed. Safe
her
travels.
first solo road trip.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's exciting. It's exciting. Oh man.
So I sat on a case a couple of months ago.
As a juror?
Yeah, and I was voted jury foreman. And this was a case where a guy was probably facing 20 years. He was ex-felon, and he was a married man living in two households, running his own business, and got caught up between two women and ended up getting in trouble because his side piece was seeing another guy, and the side piece had this other guy using one of his work vehicles. So his pride was hurt. Him and a couple of his little cousins or nephews went to the house, jumped on the guy. There were weapons involved because the nephews had weapons. They rolled up to the house. The guy was over there with the side piece in the bed. They pulled up, jumped the guy, pulled him out of the house naked. They called the police. They left. They ended up getting arrested. They were charged. The side piece ends up denying, trying to play both sides. And so that basically was the court case. And he was charged with, felony assault, assault with a deadly weapon, all that kind of stuff. But what was interesting is there was really nothing that happened. What ended up really happening is these guys got in a fight, and that was that, right? When you really looked at all the evidence. So as the jury was made up of, me. I think there were 3 men, 9 women, 1, 2. I think there were 4 blacks, and the rest were white. And we thought it was a waste of time. Okay. We didn't think the guy was guilty of anything that should send him to prison. But according to the law, he looked like he was guilty of beating this guy up. So we said, well, no, we thought he was guilty of breaking into the house, because technically, even though he was paying the rent and his name was on the lease, he wasn't supposed to go into the house the way that he did. So we said he was guilty of doing that. What ended up happening is we said he was guilty. The judge, because we said he was guilty of that, and we said he was guilty of fighting the guy or assaulting the guy with his hands. So one of the charges was assaulting him with his hands, and one of the charges was assaulting him with the weapon. We charged him with assaulting with his hands, and they connected that to the weapon, and we did not connect the weapon. So that's how the charge read. So when we charged him with assault with the hands and they connected the weapon, I disagreed. And I raised my hand.
Aggravated.
You said something.
I lost you. Oh boy.
Say what you said again, Carell. I don't know why I find it hilarious.
You can't hear it.
There
Okay,
you go.
There you go. What'd you say? What'd you say when Brian was talking? You said aggravated assault?
Yeah, aggravated assault
with a deadly weapon.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So there was a charge, aggravated assault, and aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. So they connected the deadly weapon to the aggravated assault, and we didn't understand that part as the jury. Okay. So when the judge read that, we all looked at each other. And then as soon as the judge read that, the prosecution stood up and said, because they were able to connect that, they were reactivating a previous charge from like a couple of years back. And so they were going to attach that charge to the defendant so that they could add time. And that's when, I raised my hand and said, Judge, I have a question. Judge said, what is the question? I said, we misunderstood the way the charges were written. Can we go back into the chambers? The judge said, are you saying you need to change your verdict? And I said, yes. Or you need to reevaluate your verdict. I said, yes. We went back into the chambers, into the jury room, had another conversation. Folks got frustrated. But the question was, do we believe it was aggravated assault with a deadly weapon? And we had already agreed it was not aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. So how can we charge him with that when we already agreed to that? So we had to count him innocent of aggravated assault because we could not attach the deadly weapon charge because there was no proof that that man ever had a weapon in his hand. Okay. Yeah. So he ended up getting off on all charges because we could not attach the weapon. So we went back out, and instead of this guy facing 20 years, he was going home. Okay. The judge was ticked off to high heaven. The prosecution was like, our case just got flipped upside down. The attorney, the defense attorney, was, I thought he was going to give an offering. And I think the defendant got the Holy Ghost.
Got the Holy Ghost. That's hilarious.
That actually happened. So how often does something like that happen? Where the jury actually says, oops, nope, because of what you just said, we need to go back in there and reevaluate this.
I think it's often and first of all, let me just say I appreciate you taking that that jury service seriously. I think all too often, especially us as Black people, try to avoid or do not want to be a part of jury service. Right. And I know it may be inconvenient and a lot of times, you know, just something that you don't want to be a part of. But I think honestly it's a good way of getting your voice and understanding the process of how these cases that you hear about on TV and all these things that you see in the news, the behind the scenes of how this process actually works, what certain things actually mean. Because, you know, and the fact of the matter is, a lot of times the people who are being tried and charged with these cases are Black men. And a lot of times Black men don't want to be part of that jury. So you're automatically putting that brother at a disadvantage because his peer group isn't who's actually making that decision when you're supposed to be judged by a jury of your peers, right? So, you know, I mean, I understand the term peers widely, and to say that, hey, man, yes, I can. I am peers with everybody within my, I guess, age bracket and I guess in the grand scheme of things who live in my community. But, you know, at the end of the day, there are certain people who I think you would say you connect more with. You're much more clearer to, and you put yourself in that other seat. If you were charged with the crime, would you want to have look over there and see a bunch of faces that don't look anything like you, or would you want to see at least some people who look like you? So, you know, I think that's that's important. But yeah, jurors often have questions. There's a process for that. So, jury, I know you guys probably had to write it down on a paper. Then you'll come back out. Y'all stand up. You go through the whole formal process. They read the question. Then they make a determination of whether or not they're going to be able to answer it and everything. So that's not necessarily unusual. Now, coming back with a verdict and then immediately changing that verdict, I would say is unusual. You don't hear about that happen often. That happening often.
It was crazy. It was crazy. The whole experience was crazy. But I knew then that it was destiny to be there that week. That we talked about it here on BOL, but yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that was dope. That was dope moment there.
Yeah.
You get the,
so
you
listen,
get the
guys.
lifetime achievement award for that.
Not lifetime achievement.
Not me, because the truth is, I didn't want to be there.
Right.
It's the truth. It was a learning experience, and in the beginning, I didn't want to be there. I wanted to be anywhere but there. That's the truth. Right. Yep. But I learned. I realized how important it was.
And that's the funniest part, because nobody don't really want to be at work until it's jury duty day. Now everybody want to be at work now. I gotta go to work. I gotta be at work today. Yeah. Please. Any other day you didn't want to be at work.
Right. I gotta go to work. So Rod says, Pastor, I take it you didn't wear that cowboy hat during the jury selection. Good job.
I did.
You probably did.
I had to take it off in the courtroom, but I did have it at the courthouse.
But what's so crazy, and we're gonna close out when it comes to the jury, as much as it's not a loved practice. If any of us were in a situation, we would want the folks that we know don't really want to be there to rule, to hear my case. Like, I would want y'all there to, I need y'all to hear all the facts of what's happening, so you guys can make the right choice by setting me free. Because what I did, like you said, he did something, but he didn't do as bad of a charge that they were trying to dump on him. And that was, of course, the prosecutor going for the 3. So I think definitely when you told that story, it makes you kind of give you a different perspective. Like, when we get selected, not only actually going, but actually taking the time with the kid. You decide somebody's life. Like, I want to get out of here, but if they about to spend, 5 years is a long time. That's a long time.
Yeah.
No,
Jeff,
years.
I never tried to connect with that defendant.
A few hours.
You said, what's that?
I was telling Jeff, no, I never tried to connect with that defendant.
Right, a few hours is a long time in jail as well. You said, that guy would love to give you a hug. You said you never saw him, never got to him.
No, I never wanted to. That you don't want to connect with. I don't think it's good to connect with people like that. Because he was a knucklehead anyway, man.
Right. He was.
Yeah.
He just was going after some higher charges that wasn't sticking. Yeah, absolutely. But you're right.
Attorneys come in and speak with you afterwards speak to the jury in general about the case and you guys' decision-making process and everything?
The prosecuting attorney did.
Really?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they wanted to know how we came to that. The defense attorney, no. The defense attorney was ready to get out of there.
He said, I'm gonna just take my win. I'm gonna just take my win and go.
No, he hollered at me outside heading to the car. He was like, man, listen, I want to commend you. He saw me outside. It was like, okay, what you did was absolutely tremendous. He said, I want to commend you for raising your hand because most people wouldn't have done that. So he tipped his hat. The prosecuting attorney was like, I want you to understand, you still could have. There were other ways to convict him. That's what they were like.
That guy was.
Yeah.
Well, they shouldn't have tried to pin something else on him.
Right.
Yeah. They're trying to bring something back from 1865. Like, nah, dog.
Yeah.
Said, no backseas. I'm out.
That's what it sounded like. Like, man, let's get out of here before they change their mind again.
I'm trying to get you on something else.
Just drop the gavel.
Let's roll out, brother. We'll hug outside in the hallway. Let's go. Let's go. Oh man. So yeah, definitely that jury duty is a serious thing. Definitely take it serious. Like you said, an hour. We ain't never been like her because an hour is a long time. So we appreciate you guys for being here. Thank you, Carell, coming through, sharing your legal knowledge and your time. Because your time costs as well.
Appreciate you, Doc.
Yes, indeed.
No problem. Thank you, fellas.
Yes, indeed. We look forward to seeing you at another time, getting you come through. Give us some more legal advice. We get into some trouble, definitely gonna call you. And if there's any cases that you can share, we'd love to have you on and just kind of share the after effects of it. We're always curious about the process, the real process that we don't see on TV. So definitely love for you to share some of those things that you can.
I got plenty of cases I can talk about though, but that's just one of the craziest ones. It's just yeah. It was an interesting one. I'll say that.
Okay, I got you. All right, so we look forward to seeing you guys next week. Thank you guys for hanging with us. Before we go, it's Freestyle Friday. I got to give Brian at least three good zingers, and then we're gonna roll out of here. Come on, hit us with the joke, brother.
You know what? Today I don't have one, man. Let me see. I think I may have one in my phone. Let me see if I have one in my phone. Because I have not. I don't think I've told a joke this week. I have not told a joke this week, man. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, you know what I saw this week? What I saw this week was somebody sent a message, and the message read like this: "Looks can be this evening." And they were trying to say looks can be deceiving.
This evening.
And it said it read looks can be this evening.
Now that could be a good little like a pickup line type of deal there.
Looks can be this evening. I was just like, wow.
Wow, that's funny.
And there was another one. One of them said looks could be this evening. And another one said, yeah, when I see these things, I copy them. One of them said, why are y'all acting like the world just not getting messed up? What about slavery? What about the Hall of Cost?
The Hall of Cost. Okay.
The Hall of Cost.
Rod says, where does a pirate go to get his hooks? The second-hand store. Okay. What did the buffalo say to his son before he left for work? Bye, son.
Hey, y'all tripping, man.
All right, we're gonna get ready to roll out here. We appreciate you guys for rocking with us. We look forward to seeing you guys next week. Stay connected. Text LW into 84576. Text LW into 84576. Yeah, nah, I'm gonna say that.
One more.
Go ahead.
A man who says sorry when he's wrong is honest. A man who says sorry when he's not sure is wise. A man who says sorry when he's right is a husband.
I knew where that was going once it happened because I felt like I was that man this week, and I'm gonna go ahead and log off before I get in trouble.
Oh man. All right. 988. If you want somebody loving having mental health crisis, make sure you dial 988. And know that always we love you. Jesus loves you better. Stay safe. Make good choices, and we will see you in the AM. Peace out.